Hey folks, I've been talking about a new system, a new arrangement, in a new place, with guidelines and direction. Now some might say, guidelines and direction, making people go a certain way and restricting this and that, doesn't sound like what's the political system where everybody votes? Anyway, a voting system where everything works out fine for everybody. Is that system working out fine for everybody, and why would we need a new one? Been talking about Jerusalem and the fact that it would have everything different, not a democratic government as we know it today. Why? Here's the definition of politics. This is the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. Not an obscure dictionary, a regular one that is used in college and universities around the planet. Under politics, one of the meanings is the art or science concerned with winning and holding control over a government. So there's control in this government that we call democratic. Political affairs or business, specifically, competition between competing interest groups or individuals for power and leadership in a government or other group. Another meaning, political activities characterized by artful and often dishonest practices. This isn't my meaning. This is the meaning in the Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. I'm not sure what year. So why do we need a new system? Well, look at the democratic system that we have. People in power with special interest groups that have money, or individuals that have money, pool it together and make advertisements. So for one thing, you're talking about rich people, people with power and influence. That's not always the good sort to have directing things. Because what are they going to influence and what do they have power over? Choices. And the choices that they've been making, policies concerning poor, let's say the welfare system, the $500 a month welfare system, is pretty poor choices, pretty poor decisions. Giving liberty to huge corporations that owe billions combined, possibly in the trillions of taxes that don't get collected because of these democratically elected persons. So the political system that we have today, and we call it the free one, and we want to transport it to the rest of the planet, is not working except for the rich and powerful, because they are the ones that control it. With the money, you can buy votes, not individually, but you buy votes by making claims or making promises. Now, if these promises could be kept, like many that Bernie Sanders made, were great, and he would try with all his heart to do them. But there's a Congress, a group of competing interests, they should be the same, but they're not, that battle this over and then vote on it. Well, the voting includes, I'm not sure, it's in the high 200s or 400. It's hundreds of men and women that vote on this. And if their special interests, where all the money comes from, decide against it, then it's not going to happen. So a decision that comes down from the government can't be made from the top. It can only be made through a whole group of men, many rich, and all powerful. That doesn't seem to be a working system for the disadvantaged, mentally ill, and poor. So why do we need a new system? Why do we need a new program? Why do we need a different governing process? Like I've mentioned, Jerusalem could have. A group of people that have no financial interest in the decisions that are made. A group of people that have shown throughout their life that sacrificing their own pleasures or financial stability for the sake of helping others has been a practice or a common thing, those type of people making the decisions is the only way that a society can be established that benefits everyone. Restrictive, yes, there's certain things you restrict. Letting a society evolve like a river that meanders wherever it needs to go, for a river, that's perfect. In fact, that's the best. But for a society where the rich and the powerful are always the ones directing the policy, that's not good. Because how did they get rich? Walking on the heads of others. Not always, but lots of them. By paying minimum wage, by paying the absolute governmentally prescribed minimum. That shouldn't be a wage that is acceptable throughout the country. That's the minimum. That's the bare minimum. That's what you have to pay by law. Because it's illegal to pay anything less. Because it's immoral to pay anything less. Why do we go by that? It's ridiculous. There's a man out there trying to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Even then, that would be barely making it. But at least that man is trying to make a difference and trying to change something. Is he making any progress? I think he's got billions of dollars. I think he was in charge of a huge corporation. But he probably won't. I haven't heard it going up one nickel. That's why starting a new system, a new process, is needed. Because you cannot change the old one. There's too many forces behind it that will not allow its change. So yes, we do need something new. We need this place that I've called Jerusalem. You can name it whatever you like. And people may think it's some kind of commune, it's all religious because I've mentioned God. There should be no religion in it, because religion is divisive. Religion is corrupting. Religion is the development of doctrines that are designed to enslave and curve people in a way, same as politics, that the hierarchy wants them to go. So no religion, no churches, no Bible meetings. If someone wants to discuss something that's in the Bible because I happen to like that book, yes, let's go talk about it. Let's read it. But big groups of meetings, no. Because then you just develop, well, let's say it goes the wrong way. You have to set up a channel of teachings or a program of worship, and it doesn't work. It just doesn't. So no religion there, no churches, no temples. I mentioned a temple because it was written in one scripture. If this judgment day comes that we were talking about, or it's a matter of years, if you don't happen to believe it, don't worry about it, because there's no temple going there till God manifests himself in some way and everyone there believes that he is alive and functions and communicates with us. And either he or we as an entire group decide to put up a place that represents him, fine. But that's a long way down the road, and none of us are going to decide on our own to build it, because there is no religion in this place, no politics in this place, no monetary system, because it's not needed if everyone's looked after. The perfect place. And we've talked about, can it be done in the past? Absolutely it can be done. It needs a large infusion of cash in the first place, but after that we will have lots of entrepreneurs and designers and so forth that we can create manners of income, whether it be from the ground or from the herd. It works. It will. It does. Scriptures say it's going to be there, so somebody has to start it. The other thing that is not working is capitalism. Have you ever heard the expression, "we'll let the markets decide"? What a ludicrous expression. Okay, so let's take a wolf and put him in a flock of sheep. Let's let the wolf decide what he's going to do. Well, his only decision is, how many do I kill? And it's the same with capitalism. It's a faceless, greed-mongering system that extracts every fraction of profit that it possibly can out of every product and every apparatus, to the chagrin of those who are trying to make a living out of doing the work for this company. Because that profit is taken straight out of their pocket and put into the pockets of the shareholders, which probably are already rich. Maybe not. But it's not a good system. Letting the markets decide is crazy, because the rich and powerful control the markets. Why would you let the markets decide for something that is that important, where people's lives are involved? Sheep, the ones that don't have any power. You don't let the wolf decide. That is sinister and ridiculous. So the capitalistic system, does it need to change? Yeah. Can we change it? Absolutely not. There's no way. No matter how powerful you are. Bill Gates, the richest man in the world, he couldn't change it. He can't. But he could make a new society where capitalism is not the ruler. A society where reasonableness, consideration, and compassion rules is very possible. And it is necessary, and it is needed right now. So yes, we don't need democracy, and we don't need capitalism. All we need is reasonableness and direction. The kind of direction that comes from a group of people that we already know love their neighbor. And those people aren't too hard to find. They're in every community. They're not strange and odd and unheard of. Philanthropists. Those people are willing to give their hard-won cash out to others. So let's start there. Let's find some. Let's get this thing going. We need Jerusalem, folks. We need it. And those who say we don't, everything's working fine, go talk to some poor people. Go talk to some mentally ill people, or some shut-in old folks on a pension. They won't say the same. What about the vets? These men and women who have gone out, killed for us, but also died for us, or got their legs blown off, or got their arms blown off. These people have sacrificed everything, and they were prepared to sacrifice their life for our freedoms, so that we could live peaceably. These people are heroes, every single one. You can't say enough about someone who goes out and puts their life on the line for the families back at home. And do we take care of them? Well, I've heard not. Some maybe, but I've heard not. So do we need a change? Yes. For the vets, for the poor, for the mentally ill, for the old folks, for the shut-ins, for the drug addicted that really want to get off that but can't. Yes, we need a change. We need Jerusalem. Call it what you will. Sanctuary city, string of communities, but we need it. We need it desperately. We need a change. Thanks for listening, folks. And if you can, have a wonderful day.